Good morning. Today is Friday, is the 21st day of Tishrei, the Shana Rabbah. It's the very last day of Sukkot. And we learned today in the Tanya, we continue the chapter 23 of Igeret HaKodesh. We learned yesterday, the Alter Rebbe is talking about the very special power of learning Torah, not only by yourself, but learning together with a minyan, with 10 people together, that this has a tremendous, tremendous power. And the Alter Rebbe continues the explanation. It says there is a difference between the reward that we get for learning the Torah and the special God divine dwelling of the Shekhinah when we study together with a minyan. And it's going to explain today, there's a difference. There is the special light of Hashem that comes when we study the Torah, and that is in a way limited to the way the soul is able to receive in this world. And although this is a very great light, it's a very tremendous power, but this is considered the reward, and that is something even when you study Torah by yourself, you also get this special light. This is a light that enables the person to get inspired and get elevated spiritually. And then there is something which is much, much greater than that, which is the Shekhinah, the Ashroas HaShekhinah. It is such a light that comes from Hashem. When you study together with the minyan, with the 10 people together, then there is such a powerful light that it is encompassing. It is not even limited to the levels of the soul, the soul's limitation. It is above, and that is why this is something that we can only benefit it in the next world, but it's something that we have nevertheless. And in fact, Alter Rebbe is going to explain that the angels are not capable of receiving this light, but nevertheless they do sense that light, and that's why when the angels are in the presence of the 10 Jewish people sitting together, the angels themselves get overwhelmed by this tremendous light. So let's see how the Alter Rebbe says this inside. Says the Alter Rebbe, ki kvi as-schar hu shemeir Hashem lenefesh tidrashenu b'oyer teirasei. The reward, the setting of the reward that Hashem shines to the soul that seeks Hashem b'oyer teirasei, with the light of the Torah, she'u mata levushay mamish, that God is literally garbs himself with this Torah. V'lochein nikres ha-Torah oyer. That's why the Torah is referred to as light. Shenemar, as it says, oite oyer kasalmo. He garbs himself in light as with a garment. V'hanefesh shehi balas gvul v'tachlis b'chol koichaseho. Now, the soul is limited and finite in all its faculties. Although the soul is very great, is very high level, it is still finite. Lochein, therefore, gam oir Hashem ameir bo ugvuli metzumtzum umislabish b'seicha. Therefore, the light that God radiates in this soul is also limited and contracted, and it vests itself within the soul. And therefore, ispail leiv mevakshe Hashem b'shas hatfila v'kayetze bo. This is why the heart of those who seek God are ecstatically aroused in the time of prayer and the like. Sometimes you can have people getting an excitement and a spiritual excitement. Where does it come from? From the light that Hashem dwells in the Torah that you study. Ki boy yismach libam v'yogil af gilas v'ranen. For their hearts rejoice in him and exult, even with exaltation and song. And their souls delight in the pleasantness of God and his light. As it becomes revealed through the covering in which God garbs himself, which is the Torah. And his arrow comes forth like lightning. So that you can have a certain lightning, a certain excitement, an emotional, a spiritual enlightenment that you feel, this which comes as a reward and as a result of your studying the Torah. And this is the setting of the reward of the Torah, which is always fixed in the soul of those who labor in the Torah. That is regarding the reward that studying the Torah, even when you study by yourself or with a friend. And this is something that is a reward that you can have also in this world. But however, the indwelling, the Hashra, the indwelling of the Shekhinah, what we're talking about before, it is an intense radiation from the light of Hashem, of God, which radiates in it, within the soul itself, without limits and without end. It cannot be enclosed and garbed in a limited soul. It only surrounds and encompasses from above, from the feet, from the head to the feet. Meaning it's not something that the soul can contain it. It is something which is above, but the person has it nevertheless. As our sages say, on top of all 10 people gathered, the Hashem's dwelling, divine presence, it dwells them. Which means to say, meaning over them, from above. As it says in the Tehillim, we say, Vihi noyam Hashem Elokeinu aleinu. This is the Tehillim. It says what Moshe Rabbeinu said when the Jewish people built the temple, that they were talking about the special light of Hashem when it's upon us. Says noyam Hashem, the pleasantness of Hashem should be upon us, on top of us. Umasi yadeinu koinen aleinu, and establish upon us the work of our hands. So we're talking about upon us, meaning it's not something which can go in us, it's upon us. Keloima, which means to say, Kinoyam Hashem, that the pleasantness, the sweetness of Hashem, which comes as a result through the work of our hands, when we study Torah, when we do the mitzvahs, which Hashem, God, and His Torah, the Torah and God are all one, entirely one, it becomes established and rests upon us from above. Being that is without limits, it does not vest itself within our soul and our intellect. And therefore, therefore we cannot apprehend with our intellect the delightness, the sweetness, minoyam Hashem, of the pleasantness of God, v'ziva Shechina, and the ray of the Shechina, of divine presence, bli gvul v'tachlis, without any limitation. Hashem is koinen v'shoire aleinu, which is established and rests upon us, b'masa yadeinu, with the work of our hands, b'toira u'mitzvahs b'rabim davke. And this is when do we get this? When we study the Torah and the mitzvahs b'rabim, with the community. We will do with a joint study with many people together. As we said yesterday, the minyan, the 10 people. And regarding this, our sages say, Schar mitzvah behai al meleke. The reward of a mitzvah we do not have in this world, because in this world we cannot apprehend it and comprehend it properly. Because it is impossible for the world to attain such a powerful light, only when the soul is divested from the body. When it goes away from the body, is not limiting anymore. And even then, even when the soul is out of the body, al derech chesed, it is with the kindness of Hashem that the soul is able to contain this great light. As it says, ulecho Hashem chesed, for to you, God, there is kindness. For you render to every man according to his work, meaning Hashem does kindness by allowing us to receive that tremendous light and appreciating this tremendous light. As our sages say, that God bestows, gives the strength, He gives the righteous people the strength to be able to receive that special light. Which is such a powerful light that the malachim, the angels, are not able to receive such a great light. As the Alter Rebbe says, as I heard from my rabbis, from my teachers. And the Rebbe Rashab says that when the Alter Rebbe says my teachers, plural, is referring to the Magid, Mezritcher Magid, his Rebbe, and his Rebbe, the Baal Shem Tov, the holy Baal Shem Tov, that he said, Ki ilu nimtza malach echad, if there would be one angel, oimed b'mamad asara b'Yisrael b'yachad, if one angel would be standing in the presence of 10 Jewish people together, even though they do not talk Torah. If you have only 10 Jews sitting together, obviously doing positive things, but not necessarily studying Torah, such that the angel would befall upon him such a dread and fear without limitations, from the presence of the Shechina that dwells upon the 10 Jews, to the point that the angel would be totally nullified, utterly nullified from its existence. That's how intense the light of Hashem that when we study Torah together. So this is the end of today's shir. It's interesting, we're learning this right before an Ishana Rabbah, right before Shmini Atzeres, when it talks about, it says that this is the time when Hashem dwells upon the Jewish people. So this is a time to remember, and tonight we're going to come together in shul, we're going to dance with our kafas, and this is something, such a tremendous light that everyone is equal. Dancing with the Torah is not necessarily something that people need to understand the Torah to be able to dance. Anybody can dance with the Torah, because this is connected with the very essence of the Jew. So let us hope that we will be able to receive this tremendous light with simcha, with happiness, and we should have a guten kvittel, a good year and a sweet year. All the best. Thank you for joining, and please subscribe and please share. All the best. Have a wonderful, wonderful Yom Tov and a good year.